If you're one of the millions of bank or building society customers hoping for a refund because you've had to pay a charge for an unauthorised overdraft, the Supreme Court dealt you a big blow today. In a landmark decision, the legal battle between the consumer watchdog, the Office of Fair Trading, and the banks was won by the bankers. That means the OFT can't carry on its investigation into banks charging you when you go over your limit. The Office of Fair Trading says this is a setback for the millions of customers who are trying to get their money back after being charged for going into the red. But the banks say they'd be swamped by lawsuits if customers were allowed to sue over these charges, and that could lose them up to £2.6 billion a year in revenue. Most of you don't seem to find that very convincing.
No, I don't think it is the right idea at all. People have been, coming in and out of the red, for a long time before without charge.
It's incredibly disappointing is the reality, and I think that hopefully the fact that it's gone this far will make the banks collectively think about the way that they form their conditions of each and every account.
If you've been recklessly spending, then you should pay for it. Of course, the bank should have a system where they could automatically stop it so that you wouldn't be able to spend.
Before refund claims were frozen, banks had already paid out over £559 million to customers who complained about their rip-off overdraft charges. But many of the high street banks have already changed the structure of the fees they charge people with or without permission. Research by the OFT published last year found banks earned about a third of their retail revenue from these unarranged overdraft charges that the OFT says are difficult to understand and not transparent. But Angela Barker from the British Bankers Association says today's ruling is actually good news for customers.
I think that now, because we've been frozen for so long with this case going through, that we'll get, if you like, a normal competitive market, one in which there are more offerings available to individuals, allowing them to choose what is it that suits them.
This might not be the end of the road anyway. The OFT's previously said that if it lost this case, it might try other ways of attacking overdraft fees, maybe even instigating a full Competition Commission inquiry. In explaining his ruling, the Supreme Court's President, Lord Phillips, said that bank customers agreed to pay overdraft charges as part of the price of having a current account. But he added that this isn't the end of the matter. The OFT could still try to scrutinise bank charges under other aspects of consumer regulations. So, what actually are these charges? Well, banks could charge you up to £35 for going into the red or going over your agreed limit, all for an administrative task that costs them around £2.50. Part of the problem has been that banks just haven't made things clear, so hopefully one upshot of this case could be that in future they'll have to tell you just how much they'll charge you if you go into the red.